Step number 4 is really easy to use, but it has a major limitation, which is that it only works if your number 4 is on the dash. And guess what? Your professor is often going to give you molecules where your number 4 is not on the dash. It might be in the front, or it might be on the side. Why would he do such a thing? Obviously to make your life harder, okay? So in that case, we're going to have to move down to step 5, which step 5 is kind of like your contingency plan, okay? If your number 4, last priority group, is not in the back, which I'm sorry to tell you is most of the time, okay? Then we're going to have to make an adjustment, because it turns out that the method we used for step 4 is actually the easiest way to figure this out. But my number 4 needs to be on the dash in order to use it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to swap number 4 with whatever is on the dash already, okay? Meaning that whatever number's on the dash, let's say it's 2 or 3, we're going to redraw those numbers and swap them so that we can pretend like number 4 is on the dash, even though it really isn't on the dash. We're just going to pretend. Now, there's no free lunch. We're cheating here. I just told you this is like a game of make-believe. We're going to pretend like the 4 is on the back, even though it isn't. So in order to make up for that, we're going to have to swap whatever sign we get to make up for the fact that we swapped the groups. Okay? So this is really easy. It just means that if you trace your path and it looks like an R, you're actually going to give it an S. If it looks like an S, you're actually going to give it an R. Okay? So let's go ahead and do an example where we bring down the priorities from before and see how it works out. Remember that this was number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay? So is my number 4 on the dash? No, it's not. It's actually in the front. So what are we going to do? Well, in order to use the system from before, I have to swap out. The rule says the number 4 has to swap with whatever's on the dash. What's on the dash? 1. Okay? Now, I want to warn you guys against other methods of doing this. Some online tutorials like YouTube, whatever, or even your professor will sometimes tell you to redraw the molecule with this pretend switch. I think that's really unnecessary and that's really confusing. It's a lot easier just to swap out the numbers, okay? So I'm going to scratch out 4. We know that that's moving to the back. We're going to scratch out 1. We know that's swapping. And I'm going to redraw just the numbers. Okay? Now that my 4 is in the back, I can ignore it and I can draw my path. So my path goes 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1. Remember that I ignore 4. What does that look like to you? It looks like an R. Okay? Is this actually going to be an R? No, because I had to swap that group in the beginning, so I'm actually going to consider this to be an S isomer. Okay? And that's the final answer. So this really isn't that hard. You just have to remember to swap at the end to make up for the fact that you swapped at the beginning. Okay? Great, let's move on to an example.